Canadians are tired, frustrated, and asking the same question. Why does it feel like our jobs, our streets, and even our seniors are under attack? From workplaces being dominated, to trash piling on sidewalks, to scams targeting the most vulnerable, this is the story Canada doesn't want to talk about, but we will. Chapter 1. Jobs on the line. The hiring bias problem. Across Canada, more and more locals feel shut out of their own job market. The frustration is real. When qualified Canadians submit resumes, they often find themselves overlooked for roles that are filled instead by Indian nationals with strong networks inside companies. This isn't just about competition, it's about fairness. Many hiring managers, especially in industries like tech, finance, and healthcare, are accused of showing preference toward applicants who share their nationality, leaving Canadian-born job seekers frustrated and demoralized. Stories are everywhere of Canadians applying for dozens, even hundreds of jobs, only to find offices dominated by own demographic, while qualified citizens remain unemployed. Employers, meanwhile, defend the practice by pointing to shortages of skills. But the reality is far more complex. Some argue companies chase cheap labor, exploiting newcomers who are willing to work longer hours for lower pay. This practice drives down wages overall. Canadians who do land jobs often find themselves earning less than they deserve because the market is saturated with workers willing to accept lower standards. In construction, trucking, IT, and even customer service, many locals feel boxed out. Resentment grows when younger Canadians see their entry-level opportunities disappear. At its core, this is sparking a culture of exclusion. The workplace no longer feels like a level playing field. It feels like a rigged system stacked against citizens in their own homeland. And when jobs are tied to survival, paying rent, supporting families, this exclusion hits harder than ever before. Chapter 2. Streets full of trash. The littering debate. Another complaint growing louder across Canada is about litter. Streets once known for their cleanliness are now criticized for overflowing garbage, plastic wrappers, and food waste. Critics often point to rapid immigration in certain neighborhoods, arguing that cultural differences in waste disposal habits are creating tensions. In cities like Brampton, Toronto, and Surrey, residents complain about overflowing bins and sidewalks littered with trash after large gatherings or celebrations. Local governments spend millions each year cleaning up, but taxpayers argue they shouldn't bear the brunt of habits that disregard Canadian norms of order and respect for public space. To be clear, littering is not unique to any nationality. But when certain communities dominate an area and the problem spikes, the perception fuels resentment and division. Social media is filled with videos of garbage-strewn streets after events, which spread rapidly and shape public opinion, even if only a portion of the community is responsible. For Canadians who pride themselves on clean and livable cities, seeing their neighborhoods decline creates a sense of loss and anger. At its heart, this isn't just about trash, it's about respect. The question becomes, are newcomers adapting to Canadian standards, or are locals being forced to adapt to decline? Chapter 3. Targeting seniors. The scam epidemic. If there's one issue that strikes fear and anger in Canadians alike, it's the scams targeting seniors. And at the center of many crackdowns are Indian-based call centers running elaborate fraud schemes. These scams are not small operations. Entire call centers in India are dedicated to tricking elderly Canadians into handing over their savings, often by impersonating government officials or threatening arrest. Seniors, already vulnerable, often lose thousands or even their life savings because of these predatory practices. Police reports confirm that billions have been siphoned out of North America by organized fraud networks, many of which have direct ties overseas. Families are devastated not only by the financial ruin, but also by the betrayal of trust. Victims believe they are dealing with legitimate authorities until it's too late. The anger is not just at the scammers themselves, but at the system that allows these networks to thrive. Why aren't governments doing more to block these operations at the source? For Canadians, the thought of their aging parents or grandparents being robbed over the phone while alone at home is infuriating. This issue doesn't just impact wallets. It strikes at the dignity and safety of Canada's most vulnerable citizens. Chapter 4. The Cultural Clash. Tensions boiling over. Beneath jobs, litter, and scams lies a deeper issue: cultural friction. Many Canadians feel their way of life is being sidelined as new waves of immigration reshape communities. Tensions emerge in workplaces, schools, and neighborhoods when Canadian traditions clash with imported habits and practices. For some, this change is exciting and enriching. But for others, it feels like displacement, like they are losing their country piece by piece. Public events often highlight these differences. Locals feel outnumbered at festivals or gatherings where Canadian identity seems overshadowed. This growing divide is not just about economics, it's about belonging. Canadians are asking, do we still have a say in the culture of our own cities? As resentment grows, the conversation shifts from policy debates to personal frustrations. People vent online, fueling viral posts and sometimes leading to heated confrontations. This clash, if unchecked, risks turning into something far bigger, division that fractures communities instead of building unity. At its core, Canadians want respect, fairness, and acknowledgement that their heritage matters too. Chapter 5. What's next? Can Canada reclaim control? The frustrations are real, but the future isn't hopeless. The first step is acknowledging the problem without fear of being silenced. Policymakers must address biased hiring practices, ensuring companies put Canadians first for jobs within their own borders. Education campaigns and stricter enforcement could help curb littering while promoting shared responsibility for cleaner cities. On scams, stronger international cooperation is essential. Canada must pressure foreign governments to shut down fraudulent call centres. Beyond enforcement, community dialogue is critical. Canadians and newcomers need honest conversations about respect, adaptation, and coexistence. Canada's strength has always been diversity, but diversity only works when it's built on mutual respect and fairness. If ignored, these tensions could worsen. But if addressed, Canada could reclaim its values of opportunity, safety, and pride. The question is, will leaders act, or will frustration boil over into something far worse? If you believe Canadians deserve fairness in jobs, safety for seniors, and respect for our communities, hit that like button, share this video, and make your voice heard in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more hard-hitting stories that the mainstream ignores. Together we can bring these issues to light.